You know, I think there's a massive rush right now for a lot of creators, especially I've seen on the VTuber side. I don't know why there is this huge thing where like, I think VTubers want to have like managers, but they'll have like 100 concurrent viewers. And it's like, you don't need a manager. You need to sort your shit out. Those are two very different things. You know, I mean, look, me, Gant, and Joe have been doing this for 10, 15 years, and we've never had managers. There's no way you could possibly need a manager when you are like, not the like top 1% of like talent, basically. When you're having so much shit going on that you literally, like, the amount of money you would have to be making to be able to have someone like on 10% of your salary be full-time is astronomical. It's quite a lot of money. And so when you see these tiny creators like, I've got a manager, and it's like, I'm like, okay. It is concerning because sometimes you're either like, who's the one who's fucking up in this scenario? How much would you take? So look, so chat, when you have like a manager, not a full-time though, yeah, that too. It could not be it could be not a full-time manager. But I'd argue if your manager isn't full-time, it's like, all right, what is like, at that point, it's also, you're just having an assistant. You're not having a manager, I feel like. You just have somebody who's helping you with the little things on the side. For most agencies, taking over between like 20 to 5% of like deals they bring in. And so you'd have to think like, if you're making 60 grand a year, which is, if you're making that as a creator, that's phenomenal. You're already in like the top 1%, if it's not 0.01%. But if you needed to pay someone 10% of the deals, that's 6 grand a year, right? So you have to think like, okay, and even then it might not be 10% of everything. It might just be 10% of like sponsorships or something, right? So there's a lot to talent and management and stuff like that that's very difficult, and people don't talk about it because obviously it's kind of all behind closed doors and hush hush. So I think a lot of creators to end up taking very bad advice or get themselves into bad situations because they don't talk to anyone else who's had any experience.